Hey, hi all, welcome back to my channel. So, we are celebrating World Watercolor Month, and today we are entering the week 2 of the challenge. So, today's first day of week 2, and in general, we are on day 6 now. I've already pasted and uploaded 5 more tutorials last week. We were able to do from day 1 to day 5, and this new week we'll continue doing all these from Monday to Friday, and then again we'll take a break on Saturday, Sunday, and then resume back. Okay, so let's get started. For today's one, I have something interesting, and we thought we will do a night sky of a northern lights. Okay, so yeah, let's start. So we'll be wetting the whole paper. So all the colors, brushes that I'm using will be listed in the description box. You can follow along. Make sure to check out all the previous tutorials and my watercolor basics, watercolor beginner course, which is all about color theory, watercolor techniques and all. Okay. While wetting our paper, we just want to be very sure that we are wetting it evenly across, and then there are no puddles of water anywhere on the paper. So the brush that I was using is a mop brush from Camlin, and I just love these brushes. They come in like a set of 4 ranging from different sizes, and they're just love. Okay. So for northern lights, the colors that we are gonna use is crimson, purple, and maybe aqua blue is what I'm thinking. Okay, turquoise blue or aqua blue. Okay, so we'll start with that. So and we want these colors to like blend naturally, so because there's a lot of water on the paper, I would not be like trying and blending any of this. We'll just try to let them blend very naturally. Okay, so we're just putting colors in between what we have already done, like the blues. And not necessarily you want to follow this like the shape. You can do any shape of your choice. Okay, just follow the colors, and if you think the color is like too light, because watercolors tend to dry like a 1 shade or 2 shade lighter, so if you think your colors are too light, maybe go ahead and add more colors to it. Okay, so that the end result that you get is like vibrant, what we wanted. The bottom part is I'm not worried about, because we're gonna anyways paint pine trees over here. But if you want to drag your color and then bring it to the bottom, that's also fine, you can do that. Okay, so you can do like a swirl color or like zigzag something, so it's up to you what like form you want to follow, right? What design you want to follow. I know recently like a lot of people in the US were able to see these northern lights like while sitting at their home, and yeah. And I also saw a documentary like which talks about why this happens, and then so you can actually see your earth fighting to those radiations. which comes and form these beautiful colors. Okay, so now I'm done with this layer. What I want to do is I want to draw like trees here, pine trees, and we'll be using Payne's Grey for drawing painting these pine trees. But then before we go ahead, this has to be dried up. Like I can't paint it on wet. It's gonna just start blending and the colors will run here and there, right? So no, so we'll just try to make this dry and then we'll work on top of it. Okay, so this is comparatively dry for me, like it's not semi-dry state, but it is okay. I can start working on my pine trees now. The other thing that I wanted to tell you guys, right, so if you think that your color is like lighter, it has turned out too light, and no, you think, you know, it is not bright enough and I want to again add it, what you can do is let your paper dry completely, then add a layer of water, like one single stroke, right? So you do in one stroke from top to bottom, and then again start adding color. So this is what we call is working in layers in watercolor, right? So what will happen, what I'm talking about is I take a very big brush, right, and clean water, and then I'm not going up and down, right? So in one direction only, I'm in one direction, I'm wetting my whole paper. Okay, because if I move too much, what will happen, my colors that are already there will start blending, and that I don't want. Okay, so this is something that we can do. And now wherever you think you know you want to add more color to it, you go ahead and add more color. Okay, so maybe some parts I want to keep light, then the dark, the same color that we have picked it up, right? I want to again do it. See, now when I do this, what will happen, I am not gonna make any hard edges, right? When I'm doing this, I'm not making any hard edges, and then I'm still able to put my colors on top of it, and then it's gonna blend naturally. Okay, so that's how you can work using layers in watercolor. And watercolors are transparent mediums, right? So when you work on layers, you are basically allowing watercolors to do its job, like be transparent. Okay, be transparent, and then each layer shows and has its own value. There's a value add. Okay, so now you see, so I have made like colors darker over here by adding another layer on top of it. Now let's say that I want to introduce another color at the start of this, or like a center of this. I can do that, right? So I can do anything because my paper is already wet, and I can play with it. I can add a dark color, I can lift off some colors to make it light. So anything is possible. Okay, now because I have shown you guys how to add second layer, the paper is still wet, and then we again want to wait before we add another layer. This you can do two ways. So one is like you let the paper dry naturally, or you can use hair dryer to dry it off. Okay, I'm gonna go with the second one because we'll have to finish this faster. Okay, so I have re-dried my paper, and now let's start with the pine trees. Okay, and I think I have explained you guys as in my technique of making pine trees. So I will again explain it, like if you don't know, if you have not checked out my other tutorial. So let me just go ahead and explain you with an example as in how do I do pine tree. So let's say that okay, let me take my color. So this is my, I'm gonna keep it now. So this is my line I have created, that where I want to draw a pine tree, right? I'll make sure that my brush is like this, like I have spread the bristles of my brush, right, somewhat and this will work very nice when you have a natural hair brush, but you can try to work with synthetic as well. So then what I want to do, so I take a color, I make sure the bristles are spread, and then we are adding like short branches on the top, and then I'm doing like a flick motion. Okay, I'm only doing a flick motion to add the remaining branches. Okay, like this. See, this way. Okay, this is what I usually do to make pine tree. There are more methods on how to create pine tree. Maybe I can do a separate class on it altogether. Okay. So now the trick here is to vary the sizes and then also add some tree and trunks, and the tree and trunks with bare branches which doesn't have any leaves or something attached to it, right? So you just have to like mix and match. Okay, so keep mixing some things here, there, some broken branches, some straight, some slant. Okay. Maybe I'll go ahead and add one on this side, right? And maybe I'll just make it like a little big as compared to everyone else down below. Okay, so we'll keep going. So I'll just see, it is very easier to do this way rather than like making one like leaf section. Okay, like everyone you will see has a very different method of painting pine trees. It depends on from person to person. Okay, now I'm just making this like a bare branch. And now I'm using a stippling method, which is very different. So dab on all the directions, right, both sides, so to create a different effect of the tree. So keep doing mix and match, because in nature also not all trees would look same. So that is what we are trying to do. So we keep mixing here and there. Okay, now if you have noticed, this tree I have made like a slanted, right, like it's like tilted towards left, and I'm still using dry brushing because that paper texture plays a very important role and will create a very nice scene for us. Now this one that I'm drawing has barely even the branches, right? It doesn't have anything of that sort, which is okay. And next branch I did here, but doesn't even have a room for anything else, right? Okay, if we want, we can even fill the bottom section, saying that the trees are maybe starting from a mountain or something. So we can actually go in and then fill the whole section, right? and our trees are basically starting from here. Okay, so that also you can do, and this portion is optional, so if you do not wish to do, don't make it. Now we're going to add some stars, and to add stars I'll take my white gel pen or white gouache, and then I'll just sprinkle on top of it. And I took like a small size brush to do the sprinkles because I don't want them to be too big. So they are very distant. Very distant, okay? And then one or two I can make it prominent. Okay. One I can make it prominent, and maybe I can have a shooting star or something here. Okay, now we are ready to take out our tape. I think that's it. Anytime you're struggling that you're not getting subject to paint, I think nature provides its best, and you can go for a very simple sunset scene, or you can go for northern lights. There's just too many elements to be added, right? So instead of these trees over here, you can add a mountain, a snow-capped mountain or something, right? Or you can add a lake with the reflection of the northern lights. So there's all combinations that can be done. Okay, so here we are. So our day 6 northern lights. I hope you guys are having fun and you enjoyed this quick tutorial. I think this would have been the easiest and the quickest one that we have done in the series so far. So yeah, go ahead, tag me, make this one, recreate this one, and then let me know if you have any questions and doubts. See you guys. Bye bye.